Welcome to Uzbekistan. This historic country is teeming with ancient architecture and breathtaking sights. Its capital city, Tashkent, has established itself on the International Judo Federation's World Tour over the last 3 years, and now once again plays host to a Grand Prix. As always, Tashkent will welcome judo with an arena full of fans. It's just 1 month since neighbouring Kazakhstan hosted the last World Championships before the Olympic Games in its capital city, Astana. As such, the draw in Tashkent was highly anticipated, since now every ranking point is precious in the run-up to the Olympic qualification. So naturally, entry boasted some of the world's top competitors from both home and abroad. Staging a Grand Prix in Tashkent also gave young Uzbek judoka a great chance to impress, while judo powerhouses like Japan used it as a chance to showcase the stars of the future. But amongst all the big names in action, one thing the crowd would be anticipating would be a gold medal from one of their home heroes. We start with the men's under 60 kilogram category, where Uzbekistan had high hopes of a gold from their dynamic world number 5, Lutfuliev. After getting off to a good start, it seemed his day had come to an abrupt end when a foot sweep from Turkey's Kata scored Ippon. But the video referee downgraded the attack to a Wazari, giving Lutfuliev a second chance. Wazari from the Uzbek put him into a slender lead before he capitalised on the opportunity to seize a second Wazari and win the contest outright. A dramatic comeback completed, much to the relief of the Tashkent crowd. Still, in his semi-final match, Lutfuliev once again found himself down by a Wazari, this time to Kyrgyzstan's Bestiev. With the clock in the red, he completed yet another comeback in style against Uchimata. Tashkent in raptures as Lutfuliev had made the final. There he would be up against a young Japanese fighter, Oshima. One of Japan's numerous young talents rising through the ranks, Oshima showed plenty of promise throughout his run to the final. His standout skill was his exceptional pinning ability, which scored him Ippon in all of his elimination contests. After defeating Turkey's Oslu, his place in the final was secured. A great chance for the youngster to impress head coach Inui with a Grand Prix gold. How would Oshima fare when he took on Lutfuliev on home soil? Well, the home crowd really waiting for this. Can Lutfuliev get their first gold medal? Oshima will have something to say about it. Now, what's going to happen? Oh, look at that. Drops Sianagi straight away into the attack. Lutfuliev has to defend, and he can't stay on the ground for too long, that's for sure. Not with this man. Oshima just breaking up his opponent's balance all the time with that direction hand. Straight in with the Sianagi again. This time, Obatori Gaeshi. This is the technique that he's been scoring with. Kashiwazaki made it so famous, and he's into the hole. Lutfuliev, I said he couldn't stay there, and that's why. Now he just readjusts his balance, Oshima. That was a brilliant bit of newaza, but he was on Lutfuliev like a rash. He really was all over him in attack, and then he was straight in, transitioning into newaza. The seconds are ticking away, 5 seconds left, and it's going to be all over. Oshima wins the gold medal, 20 years of age, and that was a brilliant performance. He showed what transition is all about. Brilliant tachiwaza, and then brilliant newaza. Obatori Gaeshi controlled the belt. Sumagaeshi on the ground is what it is, but controlling the belt. And then he rolls him all the way over, onto his back, and it's all about then readjusting balance, and that's exactly what he did. Brilliant stuff from the young Japanese fighter. Filiev disappointed, obviously, but Oshima, he shows what he can do. In the lightest female category of under 48 kilograms, there was a gold medal for former world champion Monkbat of Mongolia to celebrate. A 15-second pin against Korea's Zhong would score her a Wazari, which would ultimately be the decisive point in the match. The win meant she leapfrogged world champion Pareto to world #1. At under 57 kilograms, Kim Jan-di went one better for Korea when she took gold. Squaring off against her in the final was Russia's Zabladina. An Oso Tagari attack from Kim scored Ippon as she took her first World Tour podium of the year. She'll be hoping she can repeat the feat between now and the Olympic Games. And at under 70 kilograms, Korea's women were on the mark once more as Kim Song-young progressed to the final, where she emerged victorious against Stam of Georgia. A dropping shoulder throw for the Yuko was enough to leave Kim smiling in Tashkent as she moved up to world #14 in the world rankings. And at over 78 kilograms, there was a third gold for Korea's impressive women's team as Kim Min-jong defeated China's Ma on penalties in the final to take the top spot in Tashkent. At under 52 kilograms, there was a chance for neighbouring Turkmenistan to show off the development of their judo through Baba Muratova. She looked unstoppable throughout the day, and after two strong Wazaris saw her pass Cohen of Israel, it was Ippon outright against Shripnik of Belarus with this unorthodox Uchimata. Baba Muratova into the final. Standing between her and a debut World Tour gold was Germany's Ertl. Who would come out on top? Baba Muratova, it's been a revelation really. Left-handed fighter, but Ertl, made a mistake there. Attacked, stayed there too long. Baba Muratova takes her over with Uranagi. Brilliant score there, gets a Wazari for it. It was on the edge, started inside, so it didn't matter. Good score. Baba Muratova now in charge. Into the last minute. Oh, Soto Makikomi, Wazari Awazeti Ippon. And that was amazing stuff from this lady. Soto Makikomi, she ties up the arm, hips go across. And she just drives with the legs. Wazari Awazeti Ippon and Turkmenistan get their first gold medal in a Grand Prix tournament. There's the arm wrapping her opponent's arms up. The hips go across, and then it's up to the drive with the legs and the turn of the head. The final of the under 63 kilogram category was contested by Austria's Drexler and Italy's Gwend. The closest either came to a score was when Gwend briefly secured a pin in the middle of the contest. It would be penalty points that would eventually see Gwend emerge victorious with 300 valuable ranking points. At under 78 kilograms, there was another example of judo's diversity, as former world champion Seoul from North Korea looked to be on course for a Grand Prix gold. However, in the semi-finals, she succumbed to the raw power of Frances Malonga, conceding a Wazari from which she was unable to come back. For Seoul, it would be a fight for bronze against Germany's Zeke. Would she be able to bounce back from the disappointment of defeat and end her day on a high? Seoul pushing forwards. Only 15 seconds left. Zeke fighting her well, but defending. Oh, Suri Kamigoshi, what's going to happen? Oh, change of direction! That's what's going to happen. Beautiful change of direction there from the former world champion. Sol comes through in the end, and it was in the last 14 seconds. Look at her. Gets her onto the hips, then changes direction. And that was a lovely change of direction. She knew exactly where she was. She was on the edge of the area. She wanted to make sure that it landed almost in. And look at that, change of direction, head drives down. And what an ippon from Sol to get the bronze medal. Sol came for the gold, but at least she goes home with a bronze medal. The final would see Great Britain's Powell against Malonga in what would be a thrilling encounter. Well, Malonga, so strong in the first half of the contest. Oh, now she's dangerous from this position. Otogari, and Powell goes over. Wazari scored. Powell tried for the Uranagi, and Malonga scored with this earlier in the day. And now Malonga, can she hold off? Powell driving now on the edge. Oh, and she's got the hold down as well. Gets the Wazari back, and now she's in the hole. And she never gave up, Powell. She knew she was going to get that. And driving Otogari drives her over and into the hold down. And she holds Malonga for the ippon and the gold medal. And you can see that Malonga there saying to herself, oh my goodness me, it's gone. Because Powell never gave up. She always believed she could do it. The Otogari went in, it started inside the area, and there she is, Malonga, saying, oh my goodness me, it's gone. And Powell of Great Britain wins their first gold medal of the tournament, and that was brilliant. Moving back to the men at under 81 kilograms, the final saw Russia's Vorobyev and Toma of the United Arab Emirates lock horns. The victory would be Toma's after he scored a yuko with this Sumigaeshi sacrifice throw, which landed Vorobyev on his side. It was Toma's first gold on the World Tour for almost 2 years as he moved up to world number 7. The under 90 kilogram category saw the entry of newly crowned world champion and world number 1, Gwak of Korea. In Astana, Gwak took the world by storm, winning his first world title against Russia's Denizov with this dropping shoulder throw for a Wazari. In Tashkent, Gwak was looking to keep the ball rolling and bolster his position at the top of the ranking list. But when the Korean faced off against Serbia's Gerasimenko, there was a shocking storm. Gerasimenko threw himself into a daring aerial arm lock attack and landed on his back with Gwak's arm in prime position. Try as he might, the world champion could not relieve the pressure, and after a few adjustments from Gerasimenko, Gwak was forced to submit. A major scalp for the Serb, as a dejected Gwak left the tatami in defeat. Germany's Oldenthal awaited Gerasimenko in the semi-final. He too is dangerous with arm locks, as Lithuania's Bowser found out when he found himself victim to the same technique as Gwak, Jujigatami. Though here, less spectacular. In the semi-final, Oldenthal baited Gerasimenko into the attack, but the German was ready. Uranagi counter-attack scored him a Wazari, which would ultimately be enough to book him a place in the final. There his opponent would be Ostapirian from Tajikistan, who had broken Uzbek hearts by defeating fan favourite Juriev in the other semi-final. In the final, Odenfeld picked his moment perfectly. As Ostapirian recomposed himself, the German struck with a spinning sacrifice attack, which he drove through to secure a yuko. It would be enough to give him his first World Tour gold and 300 points, which jumped him from 30 to 16 in the world rankings. More important is the confidence that this win will give him.
I'm truly happy. It was a great day for me. I had great support from all my teammates, from my staff, and so everything works.
The under 66 kilogram category saw another young Japanese fighter making waves in Tashkent. His name was Abe, and he was on fire. A truly devastating Osotogari attack saw him through his first two contests, as his opponents had no answer to his speed and precision. Classical Taitoshi was his next weapon, which he used to good effect against Alexandra of France. Then a wonderful dropping shoulder throw was the final attack in a mauling of Mongolia's Dovdon in the semi-final. Abe was through to the final. There he would be up against China's Ma. He had looked no slouch himself as he saw off Uzbekistan's Muminov with a dropping shoulder throw to match Abe's, before then showing off his skill on the ground to defeat Shershan of Belarus and set up a showdown with Abe in the final. Ma versus Abe, two exciting fighters going at it. Abe has been brilliant all day. Brilliant techniques. Now what's going to happen? Oh, that's what's going to happen. Oh, that was amazing. Osotogari, and he scores Ippon. And this young 18-year-old Japanese fighter has been amazing. Brilliant technique. Kosei Inui must be absolutely thrilled. It was Osotogari, it drove, and he went off the sleeve. So he took the sleeves across, catches the leg, and he drives the Osoto. Ma could do nothing about it. 18 years of age. What a future this young man has ahead of him.
At the Olympic Grand Prix in July, I lost in the final. This time, here at the Grand Prix in Tashkent, I once again got to the final, and won this time. So I am very happy.
The under 100 kilogram category saw another goal for head coach Inui's young Tashkent team. This time it was 19-year-old Wolf topping the podium. This superbly executed Ouchigari against Tunisia's Ben Khalad was the pick of his techniques en route to the final. There he defeated Croatia's Kumrik on penalties. With youngsters' last two outings now resulting in gold, Wolf looks to have a very bright future ahead of him. And up one weight in judo's heaviest category, the plus 100 kilograms, Japan celebrated another gold, this time through Nishigata. After seeing off former world champion Tangriak with a pin, a clever foot sweep helped him to defeat Russia's Nazmudinov. In the final, Nishigata was too much for Mongolia's Batulga, who conceded numerous penalties to his counterpart, leaving Nishigata victorious to round off a great performance from Japan in Tashkent. Our final category, the under 73 kilograms, saw the home nation's last chance of a gold as Sharapov took to the tatami. A thunderous hip throw against Wonka of Germany saw him progress to the semi-finals. The world silver medalist Hong of North Korea lay in wait after looking his usual dangerous self earlier in the day. As Hong dropped to his knees to initiate an attack, he relaxed for just 1 second. It was enough for Sharapov, who whipped his jacket under his chin to secure a strangulation technique and score Ippon. Sharapov into the final as the crowd rejoiced. But first, Hong would dust himself off to fight for bronze against Cadets of the Ukraine. Well, Hong has some brilliant judo, he really has. Going for North Korea's second medal of this tournament. He wanted gold, of course he did. Oh, let's see it again! That was a brilliant change of direction there from Hong. It really was. He had the sleeve, he was holding right. He drops left, and look at the control he had of the arm. And he went right the way between the legs, and the rotation he gets. He spins all the way round until he's looking up at the ceiling. Cadets lands cleanly onto his back, and Hong gets North Korea's second bronze medal of the tournament. Portugal's Saraiva would be Sharapov's opponent in the final. He showed both throwing skills and groundwork skills to defeat Turkey's Vaniloglu. It was then groundwork again in his next contest, as he progressed to a semi-final with Sharapov's compatriot Babayev. There, a Yuko, the lowest of judo scores, would be enough for Saraiva as he set up a showdown with Sharapov in the final. Not bad for the clever Portuguese in his first World Tour event. Meanwhile, Babayev would face Vodka for a bronze and warm up the crowd with a great uchimata for a Wazari that would leave him joining Sharapov on the podium. Buzzer sounded on the contest, Babayev stood victorious as the crowd cheered. 2 Uzbeks on the podium, but which position would Sharapov occupy? As he walked out to face Saraiva, Uzbekistan had high hopes for a gold in their Grand Prix. Well, the crowd are really up for this. Sharapov comes out, he's wearing white, Saraiva in blue. Sharapov will be looking to follow it down into Newaza if he can. Going straight away for the Juji Gatami. Is he going for the Juji? No, he's not. Oh, he's going to turn it into the hole. Can he get on top? And he does get on top. He goes into the Takushio Gatami, and the crowd erupts straight into the Takushio Gatami. The clock is ticking away there. It's counting down. You can see it now into the last 10 seconds. He's controlling the head as well. And that was a great change of direction to turn into the Takushio. And the crowd erupt. He is the hero here in Tashkent. And that was brilliant transition from him. He was straight onto him. And look at that, crowd applaud. Look how he turns on top. It looks like he's going for the Juji Gatami. I'm sure it was on his mind. Then he changes it, goes into the Takushio Gatami, and once the legs are around the waist, it was all over. Saraiva could do nothing about it, and Sharapov wins gold medal for Uzbekistan. Absolutely amazing. 3rd time that Uzbekistan have hosted this Grand Prix tournament, and what a job they've made of it. What a crowd, and what a country to host a Grand Prix tournament. It's been brilliant, and Uzbekistan have a hero to inspire their youngsters. So, it's goodbye from Tashkent. Gerasimenko stunned Guak into submission. Japan's youngsters shone, with Abe the clear superstar. After a mix of dynamic judo, Sharapov stood tall as the hero on home turf. Join us next from the legendary Bercy Stadium for the Paris Grand Slam.